Well, here we are. Good morning to Sven, and good morning wherever you are.
Good morning to you, Mike.
I'm talking to Sven today about his life and his work, his artwork, everything. So we will have a chat about that. I've known Sven for quite a few years now, and I so admire his art. I, in fact, have a piece of his art. So there you go. That's how much I like it. He specializes in an unidentified, what is it called, Sven?
Unidentified floating objects.
Unidentified floating objects. So he'll
Indeed.
tell you more about that. So let's find out a bit more about Sven Vandenbosch. Sven, over to you.
You pronounce it well. Thank you, Mike.
I practice.
So, what would you like to know about myself?
Well, how did you arrive on the Riviera?
That's a very, very good question indeed. Yes. Well, I've been raised in Brussels, in Belgium, and as we all know, it's a very, 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 very nice region. Though the weather is not so nice over there. So one day, I decided to travel abroad, and I worked for a company which is called Club Med. I don't know if you know. And every 6 months, you move from one village, they call it village, to another village. So I traveled all over the world for 5 years. And then I said to myself, I'm getting a little bit old. I will try to settle on a place where I really enjoy living. And then I found Monaco, which is not so bad, I would say. And there is another thing as well. I met a girl on the ship as well on my very last cruise, and she used to live over here in Monaco. She's still living here in Monaco, and so we decided to share our lives together and have children and so on.
Wow!
So that's why I'm here.
And what do you do? Do you have a job apart from being a superb painter?
Oh, yes, that's a very good question. Well, I'm also an art curator for another artist. Her name is Anna Tsarev, and she's been working here, living here in Monaco for about 30 years, I would say.
Oh.
And so it's very nice for me because I'm still involved in this world of art. I just organized a nice exhibition for her here in Monaco. So it's quite interesting for me.
So what does the actual activity of a curator do? I mean, it's one artist with her artwork. Is it very big, her artwork?
It is very big. Yes, well, it is the only thing she has to think about is just to wake up and go to her painting studio, and she has all her paints ready, all her canvases. She just have to think of nothing else. All the rest, the exhibitions and ordering frames and paint and so on, she doesn't have to worry about these things. These are things I do.
Wow.
Well, that's one day I hope I will have somebody who will take of me, just like I'm taking care of her.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it? When did you get involved in art? Where did that start?
Well, I never asked you the question, but I think we are born as an artist. I always remember having making drawings or creating things since my early childhood, I would say. Yes.
So you do have this special style of your own, including the unidentified floating object. And you do.
There are 3 behind me, by the way, as you can see.
I can see those. What draws you? What are you trying to convey to the viewer of your paintings? Is it an emotion? Is it a feeling? Is it simply to be calm? What are you trying to say?
Well, even to me, maybe for some viewers, this might sound a little bit or look a little bit weird. And that's that's because I have been influenced by a lot of television series when I was young, and I must say also British series like The Avengers, or there is one which I really, really loved because it was very strange. It's what was it called? It was called The Prisoner. I don't know if you if you remind anything about this. It was number 6, and he was locked in a village in England. And every time he tried to escape, there was a big balloon who came up, a big ball, and he always was brought back to the village. So he would never really escape from this village. And this is what I have in my paintings. It's something weird, like these balloons. It's a little bit like balloons what I'm painting, and you cannot escape. You're in this strange world, actually. And if I may also say, my father used to have these big lava lamps. I don't know if you.
Oh, lava lamps! They came back. They disappeared.
Yes, they produced this. They made these new ones in the 90s, but I'm talking from the ones from the 60s, and that's very strange as well. You have these blobs, these balls which go up and then they go down. So that's something which influenced me a lot as well, which I'm trying to reflect into my unidentified floating objects.
They are captivating. Your paintings are indeed captivating.
Thank you.
Well, The Prisoner was filmed in Wales at a place called Portmeirion.
So you know it. Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah, it was the development by Clough Ellis, an architect who attempted to create, I think it's an Italianesque village.
Yes, indeed, yes.
In a bizarre place where it rains all the time called Wales.
You're right. And you are even able to visit this place still today. It's yes, it's well known indeed. Yes, yeah. I mean, for people from a certain age like me.
Well, I think The Prisoner has an enduring quality. The Prisoner as a series, I think it's sort of echoing life right now in many ways.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yeah. You're right. You're right.
So have you any exhibitions planned coming up? How are you showing your work?
Well, there is a group exhibition which should come up in October here in Monaco, and I'm working on a project. Every artist received a map from the sea, and we are free to do whatever we want on that map. And with this new technology from artificial intelligence, I have put my map on my computer, and I have put they call it prompts, some words, and the words which translated the best what I wanted to reflect was bird. So there was a bird, an artificial bird, which came up. So I with charcoal, I made on this map a bird which is like flying over the map. And to make it,
I'm not sure I get the idea of the map. It's not a canvas, is it? It's
no, it's really paper. It's what the captain is using in his ship.
Oh, a chart. A chart.
A chart. Sorry,
No, a map's the same thing. I was just trying to visualize what we're talking about, and I just had this image that this was entirely on a computer. It's not.
Oh, no. So, so you call it a chart? I'm sorry.
No. I mean, it's a question of terminology.
Yes, of course.
It was my lack of comprehension that was the problem there.
Oh, no. No, that's for sure. It's not. And then to make sure people understand that there is a link in between what I have made with my charcoal and artificial intelligence, I have inserted in this bird, flying bird, with his wings spread all over, little ones and zeros, because this is what computer language is all about. It's just 1 and 0, 1 and 0. So this bird is filled with a lot of ones and zeros, thousands of ones and zeros. I don't know how people will react to it, but I like it.
That's good enough. So what aspect of AI, what did it? I'm not an aficionado of AI. I have
well,
no idea what it does. How did it help you or assist you?
It's really interesting, because you sometimes you don't have a lack of imagination, but he comes up like an assistant and tells you you could also do this or this and this, and that's why it helps you, I think, with the creation of works.
Oh,
you should really try it, Mike.
yeah, I'm hesitant to do that. I don't want to slap an inert object, you know. It's like a small child. Why don't you do that? Shut up. Why don't you paint outside the lines? Shut up. So you
but you remain the master, actually. You still, yes, you can still say shut up, and I'll do it my way, of course.
But it will remember that, and it will hold it against you for the rest of your life. That's
absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's so good. So all your paintings, are you I mean, you talked about charcoal there. Will this one just be in charcoal?
Charcoal and pen as well.
And
I
pen.
don't have a pen over here, but I'm afraid I'm not using the right terminology. This is a pen, isn't it? No.
It is a pen.
Okay.
It's got a biro, I think, named after the guy who invented it, named
Ah,
Biro.
probably.
Well, it's a pen. It's a pen.
Voilà. So charcoal and pen, and of course afterwards you have to spray it, because charcoal, it's you just touch it and it goes away. So you have to put something on top of it to protect it.
But generally, do you work on acrylics or oils?
Oh, I definitely prefer to work with oils, though it, after a few years, when it's really dry, I prefer the aspect of oil instead of acrylics. I don't know. It's some people prefer acrylics, some do prefer oil. It's true that with acrylics it dries much faster.
Yes.
I'm wondering, the paintings just behind you, this is oil, or is it acrylic?
Some of them are bits of oil, some of them are acrylic.
Ah, you see. Okay. And sometimes you combine, maybe.
Sometimes I combine. I just have zero patience. So waiting for oil to dry, a week later you touch it and it's still
wet. I know.
You know, I admire you because you actually mix colors. I stick with whatever came out of the tube. That's my.
I see.
I basically just do cartoons, if you like. They're not really. I'm not a gifted painter like yourself, who can actually. Well,
you're too modest.
Well, look at the painting behind you. You get the feeling of distance, and you can get the feeling that those objects are floating. I have no such feeling in my paintings.
It's different. It's a different style. But I like the shapes of your objects, of your paintings, of your figures. I like it very much.
Maybe they're also unidentified floating.
Who knows? They probably are.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait to see this bird. So this is next.
I will send it to you as well then. Yes, sure, with pleasure.
I'd love to see that, because I think I'd like to see show that to other people, if I may.
With pleasure. Oh, great.
So how does this group exhibition work? How do they?
Well, it's a group which is called AIAP UNESCO Monaco. So all these artists, you probably know that, or maybe you are even a member of this group.
No, I'm not a member of any group. I think I'm probably a Groucho Marx. I don't want to join a club which wants me as a member.
You're
Oh,
very wise. You are very wise.
oh, it's great to see you, Sven, and it's great to sort of share some of your work and where you're going. Thank you so much. Our time is, I think, up, but I really enjoyed that. I like the idea of bringing AI into the question. That was really useful. I never
Thank you.
thought of it as being useful to an artist, so I'm totally intrigued about that.
Just for the inspiration, I think it's really interesting, yes, to help you. It's like an assistant who gives you more, not opportunities, but more possibilities to express your work of art in a different way as you are always seeing it. But it has really been a pleasure to seeing you today, Mike.
It's been a total pleasure seeing you. So we'll keep smiling while I try and find the off button. And once again, thank you so much, Sven.
I thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Bye.